First of all, a big shout out and happy birthday to Las Vegas Raiders superstar edge rusher Max Crosby, the heart and soul of this defense. Now let's be real. Football is a game where stars can change everything. In one moment, they can completely flip the outcome of a game. That's the beauty of the sport. But as we all know, football is also the ultimate team game. Even the brightest stars need help around them to truly shine. And the Raiders, well, they've got two stars that every fan needs to keep their eyes on. On offense, the rising talent Brock Bowers. On defense, the relentless warrior Max Crosby. Both of them have just made the NFL Top 100 list, and not just that, they did it on back-to-back days. That tells you something about the level of talent wearing silver and black this season. But before we get into the latest breaking news about the Raiders, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss an update. Now let's dive back into the story. Coming in at hash 24 on the list was none other than Brock Bowers. Some are even calling him the best tight end in the league right now. And honestly, looking at his skill set, it's hard to argue. I still remember the day the Raiders drafted him. While other teams were chasing quarterbacks and filling positional needs, the Raiders made a bold move. They took the best player available. And that bold move is already paying off. Last season, Brock Bowers didn't just flash talent, he proved he was already among the elite. Think about this. He was the only rookie named to the All-Pro team. That's almost unheard of. His game is a rare mix of toughness, precision, and explosiveness. If you want a comparison, picture a grittier, more compact version of Darren Waller. He's got the same smooth route running, the same body control, and yes, the same breakaway speed. Remember, Waller clocked a 4.47 in the 40. Bowers, even with a hamstring strain, managed a 4.53 before the draft. Without that setback, he likely breaks into the 4.4s as well. And we saw glimpses of his takeover ability. Who could forget that 140-yard performance against the Chiefs? He nearly dragged the Raiders to a win by himself. But the truth is, last year's Raiders struggled as a team and his brilliance often went to waste. This year, though, things feel different. For starters, Bowers finally has a legit quarterback delivering him the ball. Instead of relying on Gardner Minshew or Aiden O'Connell, he's catching passes from Geno Smith, the most accurate QB in the league over the past 3 seasons. That upgrade alone changes everything. More catchable throws, more chances to turn routine plays into highlight moments. On top of that, he'll have more room to work with, giving him even greater opportunities to impose his will on defenses. In short, the stage is set for Brock Bowers to not just flash greatness, but dominate consistently. One of the biggest reasons Brock Bowers is set up for success this year is the talent around him. At number 6 overall, the Raiders added running back Ashton Jeanty, and that pick changes everything. A dominant tight end becomes even more dangerous when paired with a strong backfield. Why? Because defenses have to respect the run. Linebackers and safeties are forced to creep toward the line of scrimmage, and the moment they bite on a play fake, that's all the space Bowers needs to break free and punish them downfield. And it doesn't stop there. The Raiders have quietly built speed at wide receiver to complement their star tight end. Dante Thornton, a blazing 4th-round pick, and Trey Tucker, who already showed flashes last year, are weapons designed to stretch the field. Their ability to pull defenders deep will open up huge windows underneath for Bowers to operate. That kind of spacing is priceless for an elite tight end. It means mismatches all over the field. Then you look at the offensive line, which has started to solidify into a reliable unit. Protection is key, and this group looks ready to give Geno Smith time to let plays develop. Add in the mind of Chip Kelly as offensive coordinator. Yes, the same Chip Kelly known for innovation and pace. And you can already imagine the variety of ways Bowers will be featured. Get motions, mismatches in space, play action designs. Kelly's creativity is exactly what a unique weapon like Bowers needs. In short, for the first time, Brock Bowers doesn't just have talent, he has an entire system built to maximize him. But as exciting as the offense looks, let's not forget the other side of the ball. Coming in at number 22 on the NFL Top 100 is none other than the Raiders' emotional leader and birthday boy, Max Crosby. His story is remarkable. Drafted in the fourth round of 2019, Crosby was far from a guaranteed star. Yet he burst onto the scene immediately with 10 sacks as a rookie. Back then, his calling card was simple: a lightning quick first step, incredible burst off the edge, and a relentless motor that never quit. The knock on him? He wasn't consistent against the run. But Crosby didn't settle. Over the years, he's added a full arsenal of pass rush moves, refined his technique, and developed into not only one of the best pass rushers in the league, but also one of the strongest edge defenders against the run. Now, when you think of Max Crosby, you don't just think sack artist. You think complete defensive end, a player who can wreck a game no matter what the offense throws at him. Since the moment Max Crosby stepped into the NFL, he's carried himself with one mindset: put his head down and grind. And that's exactly what he's done. No shortcuts, no excuses, just relentless work. For years, there have been games where he was the sole reason fans got their money's worth, the one bright light in the middle of difficult seasons. What makes Crosby even more special is his loyalty. In today's NFL, it's common for stars to chase brighter lights, bigger contracts, or more promising franchises. But Crosby, he's made it clear he only wants to wear silver and black. That kind of devotion is rare, and Raider Nation knows it. And while he can wreck any opponent, there's one matchup every fan circles on the calendar: Crosby versus Patrick Mahomes. Their rivalry has become must-see TV. Crosby's energy, Mahomes' magic. It doesn't matter what the records say. When these two clash, you're guaranteed fireworks. Remember 2023? The Raiders pulled off that win over Kansas City largely because Crosby refused to let the Chiefs breathe. He lives for those moments, and fans live for watching him in them. But here's the burning question: does Max finally have enough help around him? Last season, the plan looked promising. The team brought in Malcolm Koonce as his running mate and landed star interior lineman Christian Wilkins. On paper, Crosby was finally surrounded by the kind of defensive support that could unleash chaos. Unfortunately, injuries derailed everything. Koonce went down, Wilkins is gone, and Crosby was left once again to shoulder the load almost alone. Still, there's a glimmer of hope. Koonce is back, though no one knows if he's truly at full strength yet. And while Wilkins' departure hurts, there are still players capable of stepping up. One name worth mentioning is Adam Butler on the interior. He's been one of those underrated pieces who has shown flashes of being able to free up Crosby in key situations. If he and others can rise to the occasion, maybe, just maybe, this is the year Crosby isn't fighting a one-man war in the trenches. Because make no mistake, when Max Crosby gets real help, he's not just a game wrecker, he's a season changer. One of the best glimpses of what Max Crosby could do with real help came last season against the Chiefs. In that second matchup, the Raiders pulled off a statement win, and it wasn't just Crosby making noise. Yes, he was his usual force: 7 quarterback pressures and 3 QB hits, but this time he wasn't fighting alone. Adam Butler stepped up, commanding attention inside and even recording a sack of his own. That kind of balance made life miserable for Patrick Mahomes and gave Raider Nation a preview of what this defense could look like at full strength. The Raiders know they need more of that. That's why there's a clear plan to move Terry Wilson inside more often, where his size and power can collapse the pocket from the middle. It's a gamble, but if it works, it could finally prevent teams from sliding all their protection toward Crosby. And then there's the newest face, Thomas Booker, an interior defensive lineman brought in to deepen the rotation. Around the league, he's already earned respect. Even Pro Bowl tackle Lane Johnson has gone on record saying Booker has Pro Bowl potential himself. That's high praise, and if he lives up to even half of it, Crosby could finally have the kind of interior anchor he's been waiting for. So here's where things stand. The Raiders have 2 stars on the NFL Top 100 list. Brock Bowers, who checked in at number 24, is surrounded by speed, a smarter system, and a more accurate quarterback, all signs pointing toward a breakout season. Rookie running back Ashton Jeanty could very well be on that list next year, especially if he becomes the kind of play-action threat that keeps defenses off balance. Everything on offense screams potential. On the other hand, Crosby's situation feels less certain. Butler is reliable, coming off back-to-back 5-sack seasons. Wilson has flash talent, but can he bring it consistently from the inside? Booker is promising, but promise isn't production until it shows up on Sundays. For Crosby, the difference between carrying the defense alone and finally having true partners in the trenches will determine whether the Raiders' defense takes the next step or whether it's another year of one man doing it all. Either way, one thing is guaranteed. When Crosby and Bowers take the field, you're watching two of the most impactful players in the league. The only question left is, will the rest of the roster rise to their level?